Well, Mars has some really unique weather. It also has some really terrifying weather, like these giant dust storms that cover just about the entire planet.
Yeah, Hollywood has depicted this type of weather in the hit movie The Martian.
Hey! We might be able to keep the man from tipping! Watch out! Commander, are you okay?
Well, scenes like that one from The Martian, again, showing you how intense. And apparently, this movie is very good, and I need to see it.
Yes.
NASA.
You got 2 thumbs up from Nav and I.
Yeah, they're both like, you need to watch this. You've never seen it. I've never seen anything. But I might give this one a try. But right now, NASA is real life dealing with a massive dust storm that's creating problems with its exploration of the red planet. The dust storm is the size of all of North America and most of South America. That's a lot of real estate.
The current dust storm is 14 million square miles, believe it or not. One single dust storm.
Yeah, I can't even
nuts.
fathom that real estate. So we have to, like, hack off a little bit of South America and show you all that land.
Not Argentina and Chile, but,
No.
But the Opportunity rover cannot communicate with Earth because it's deprived of solar power, and they're shutting down some of the systems to conserve energy. NASA says the dust storm started as a small storm, grew into a massive event, and here's what they had to do and what they said about the situation.
By no means are we out of the woods here. The storm is threatening. We don't know how long it will last, and we don't know what the environment will be like once it clears.
Earlier, we talked with Dr. Tanya Harrison, a planetary scientist with Arizona State, about Mars and its unique weather.
It's the biggest storm that we've ever seen on Mars in the whole time we've been monitoring its weather. So it's bigger than anything we ever could have expected.
So does that make it infinitely more difficult to actually forecast how long this could last? Could it get bigger? I've got to imagine when you've seen nothing like it, it makes it an even bigger challenge.
It's tricky. We do know that this is part of dust storm season on Mars. So the fact that we had a storm was not unexpected. It's just the size of it is pretty unexpected. And right now, as you were just saying, it's larger than North America at this point. It's covering about a quarter of the entire planet, and it might go global. It's kind of looking like it's going to head that way. And if it gets to that point, those storms in the past have lasted for weeks or even months at a time.
So you mentioned that there's a dust storm season on Mars. Now, I've done a little research, but I'm not the expert that you are, so correct me if I'm wrong here. But I think what's going on is that dust storms favor southern hemisphere spring and summer on Mars, which spring in the southern hemisphere on Mars started about a month ago, Earth time, and could last well into next March. And if that's true, could this just be the beginning of the dust storm season?
It could be, yes. This is pretty early in the season for a storm of this size to occur, so that was a little surprising.
Dr. Coot, as far as the rover goes, how do we get this thing clean? If the dust storm just ends, is that going to be enough? Do we need to have, you know, a little dust devil come by quickly and clean it off? How do we get this thing clean once the dust settles, so to speak?
So we're not sure how much it's going to impact the rover in terms of dust actually sitting on the solar panels. Right now, it's dust that's in the atmosphere that's causing a problem. So we're not getting a lot of light through the atmosphere to the solar panels. So if the storm dissipates to a point where we can start getting that sunlight back to the solar panels and charging up the battery more, then we should be okay. Other than that, the solar panels have gotten dusty and then undusty thanks to these dust devils in the past. So hopefully we'll get another serendipitous gust of wind that comes by and cleans them out for us in the future.
Someone much smarter than us. Maybe not Dr. Nab, but...
No, she's got me.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That is just... the whole thing is just crazy, right? But if we could get another little storm that comes by without dust, just a little windstorm, we clean off the solar panels, the thing will charge again, and we'll be good to go.
I guess one problem, though, is Mars, the planet, is essentially one big, cold, dry, barren desert, except for the CO2 polar ice cap, so it's kind of harder to get a good moisture rainstorm to come clear it out.
It's just not going to happen.
It's like living in the middle of the Sahara.
You get a little spin, a little dust devil that comes by, and it might blow it off.
Yeah.
That happened previously, so it's wild to think how the weather just impacts stuff like that.
Yeah, but you mentioned our dusty level of our planet, right?
Yeah, found a hurricane connection here somehow, right? So this is not the same kind of dust storm, but the Sahara Desert is about 3.5 million square miles. And sometimes you get these Saharan air layer dust outbreaks that get over the Atlantic Ocean and can affect hurricane formation. And that might occupy another couple million square miles at times. But even that whole area, that Saharan air layer, would be less than half the area of this dust storm that's currently occurring on Mars. Just look how big Africa is, how big the Sahara is, and that's puny compared to the size of this Martian dust storm.
And those are really thick dust storms. This, we don't even know. Like in Florida, we like it because it gives us nice sunsets. Or nice
and we get a little bit of a haze in the air, but it's not a dust storm.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing the different blends, the different weather.
And maybe one day you'll get to see one of those on Mars. Not yet.
One day. Nav says he's going.
I would love to go.